This one is really important to me. Free Brescia. This young woman, like I said, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I'm reading, like I said, because I want to make sure I get this right. But this young woman she's basically being held in juvenile detention in, I think it's Trumbull County, Ohio. This case is heartbreaking. From the facts that we have, she killed her father, protecting her mother, and herself, and we see cases where children, where family members, where women are put in positions where they have to defend themselves because they're dealing with abuse. Now, I remember reading an article earlier on where this deceased family said that, oh, they're making it up, that's not true, we never heard of any abuse. It's so disheartening that we're so willing to just dismiss the possibility of what someone could have been going through. Right. By all accounts, this is not a young woman this is a child. She's 14. She's younger than my own daughter. This is not a young woman who I keep saying young woman because the charges, right, and the way she's being treated. But she's a little girl. She's a teenager. And this is not just something that from by all accounts about her character, about who she is, about what she's doing, that she would just, haul off and just kill somebody. I mean, it's more likely than not that the extenuating circumstances that have been discussed were present when this happened. And she has been, she's facing a charge of aggravated murder for defending herself and family against the unrelenting terror and abuse of her father. And when I was thinking about this when I was driving home, right, domestic violence, and like I said, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, because a lot of times people are like, why didn't you call the police? Or why didn't you do this? People say they'll change or they won't do this or whatever. Or it's unpredictable. If you're living in a constant state of fear because you never know because this is the thing. People try to look at domestic violence. People try to look at the aggression inflicted on others as if it's some rational, predictable thing that you can go down a checklist. And in a lot of situations, you can't, and who knows what actually was going on in the household? Who knows why the mom made the decisions that who knows? But what we do know is that this little girl, we do know that Brescia is sitting in a juvenile detention center. She is facing charges of aggravated, like I said, I got a little girl, she's a little younger than my own daughter. She's facing aggravated murder charges. There's some discussion about whether or not they'll even charge her as an adult. Like her whole life, her whole future, and she did what she thought she should do in that moment, right? And she should be getting therapy. She should be sheltered with love and support right now. And instead, she has to sit in juvenile detention and fend for herself. So there's a WordPress site that's set up. I tweeted out earlier. I'll tweet it out again. Has several different articles and stuff about her. But what I wanted to talk about is that there's a day of action tomorrow, and she has a court hearing on Thursday. So there's a day of action tomorrow and Thursday. Use the hashtag free, FREE, Brescia, BRESHA. And people are writing open letters to the prosecutors. People are writing her letters, sending her love and support. Actually, there is a book list set up if you would like to go online and send her a book to read. And you could also attach a little note like, stay strong, little sister, or something like that. But the actions of solidarity that are being there, you can check the list to see if there's a solidarity action being planned near you. But you can take direct action by organizing a direct action event. You can donate to the defense fund. You can sign the petition demanding that the Trumbull County prosecutor, Janice Watkins, drop the charges and free her now. You can send her letters of encouragement. I would say do this. If you do anything else on the list, I would say do this as well. Don't just do, like I say, send her a letter and do any of that other stuff too. Because that, can you imagine what that would be like to have that overwhelming support from people? Like, wow. Because I can only imagine what she's going through right now. And I saw a mention earlier that she might have been on suicide watch. You know, there's so much out there. We have these academic conversations about Black Lives Matter and how young Black women are more likely to be criminalized and penalized in the justice system than their white counterparts. And we have all these, you know, academic conversations about this stuff, but this is real life that's happening for this young woman, for this little girl, this teenager. I keep saying young woman, but she's 14. Like, she's only 14. I look at my 15-year-old comes and cuddles up on my lap still. Right? And giggles. She probably does the same thing with her mom, but she can't right now. You can also educate communities about the criminalization of Black girls and survivors of domestic violence. Like I said, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it's disheartening to see that there aren't more of the domestic violence organizations have not rallied around her and her cause. And often we see that, right? We see this oftentimes, you know, Black women and our issues. We're supposed to help everybody else. We're supposed to get out the vote. We're supposed to do this. We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to lead the charge. And so often when it involves us, very few people are standing there with us. So I implore you all to definitely check out the website and see what else is there. And spread the word. Like I said, I'll tweet. I'm tweeting this out again right now. Because I think this is really important. And I definitely think that we need to pay attention to, I mean, we see the names, we see the hashtags, and we're so quick and so ready to jump on stuff. You know, oh my God, there's been another shooting of a Black man. Well, we have this young Black woman, this Black girl child, teenager, whose life we can save right now, whose innocence can be preserved, right? Whose future we can invest in. We absolutely need to do what we can, however we can. So I myself, along with my girl child, will be definitely writing an open letter to the prosecutor and sending little sister some words of encouragement as well. That's the least we can do. And I know we all work, we all have other things, but at least you can do that much. The least you can do is sign a petition, share the information, send a letter. That's the least we can do.